Okay. Last week I did a workshop 3 days in a row and I forgot to record two of them and had to do two of them all over again to record them. All righty. Okay. I believe you can see that. If you cannot, please let me know in the chats. Okay. So let's talk about why wellness practices, why the general health things that we know that we've already consumed lots of information over, why they are just not working anymore. And let's talk about what's very probably likely you. You're doing a lot. You're taking care of everyone. You maybe have children, you work outside of the home, you might have a business, you know what you should be eating. You try to eat well, you try to be consistent with that. You know you should be moving your body. You try to be consistent with that. You know you should be prioritizing protein and that you should be keeping your muscle on your body and that all of that is something that you know, right? You've read the books, you follow accounts on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You've tried to get back on track, right? More times than you can count because it feels like something always gets in the way that prevents you from following through. And then yet all the effort that you do put in to being on track, to being off track, to knowing the things, consuming more information, and trying your best, nothing really feels like it's worth the time and energy anymore. It doesn't feel like the work you're putting in that you're trying to make yourself feel better with, you don't get back. You're tired, your body feels puffy, you maybe feel inflamed, your digestion is unpredictable, your sleep might be off, your weight feels stuck, or it just keeps going up. The effort to result ratio doesn't make sense anymore, right? Any other area of your life, you would be like, why do we keep doing this? This just doesn't make sense, right? Like if you were at work and you were putting in this much effort and not getting anything back, you would be like, we should probably not do this anymore or find a more efficient way to do this or do something else. But yet everything keeps producing the same result for you. It used to work. Right? It used to be just fine. You could fall off for a couple days, get right back on. Even your ability to stay consistent at one point in your life was much easier than what it is right now. And this is the part that nobody really prepares us for. Nobody's like, you're not going to be able to follow through very well. You're not going to be as resilient as you were before. You can try really hard in the future, but it's going to feel like it doesn't work. And so you start to wonder, is this just my age? Is this just what it's like to be 40, 50, 60? Is this my hormones? Is something actually like gone wrong here? Is it stress? Is there really too much on my plate? Should I be managing this better? Or am I missing something completely, right? And here's what I want you to know before we really go any further is that you're not doing anything wrong on purpose. We as women love to blame ourselves. Love to think that we're the problem of everything. Love to think that if I could just get my shit together, if I could just be more consistent, if I could just work harder, then I could have the things that I want. But your body hasn't stopped responding because you failed or because you don't work hard enough. It's because we have been taught how to treat our bodies in midlife is the same way that we treat our bodies 20 years ago, 10 years ago. And that does not actually work anymore. We have to work with our body in order to feel better and at home in our skin. So, my lived experience, my background, if you're new to me, I think most people here are actually very familiar with my world, but just so we know who I am, my background is in women's health. I'm a registered nurse and I have turned women's health coach. I am certified in functional health, life coach, somatics, soon to be human design certified. So, we've got lots of certifications. You know what? But not any of those really mean a whole lot of diddly squat compared to my lived experience. I am my own walking story. This didn't come from certification. It didn't come from a trend. In 2021, went full time into my business. At that time, COVID was real. It was a very big stressor. Our world was changing, and we were adapting. I also physically got COVID in 2021. Looking back now, I can see I had long COVID. I can see all that very evident things that we didn't know then, but know them now, right? And what happened was amount of stress that happened being a sole provider, sole entrepreneur in my life and like taking the plunge away from a consistent, reliable paycheck. COVID, it happening inside my physical body, working really hard to prove myself in the online space, also being a health coach and needing to look the part, right? Need to have my body look a certain way so people believe me. And so people know that I can help them. And what ended up happening is that my digestion took a huge downturn. I bloated from everything I ate. My constipation was worse than ever. I could not sleep at night. I tossed and turned. I had crazy, ridiculous night sweats. And I just thought I was going into perimenopause. Also, know that I was like 36 at the time, so pretty early for perimenopause. My hair was falling out in a large amount. And then one of the most obvious changes that I just couldn't get past because I was a health coach and I wanted to look the part was my weight gain. And this picture, some people may say that that's not weight gain, but I can see the puffiness in my face. I can see the puffiness in my arms. This night before we had to go to this gala, or no, it was 2 nights. The outfit that I had did not fit. I couldn't zip it. I couldn't do anything. I had to find somewhere that could overnight me an extra size than what I typically wear because there was nothing in my closet that I could wear to this gala. And I remember being online at night and thinking like, why is this a problem for me? Why am I having to go through this? The healthy person who knows what she needs to do. More than that, I was just so confused, right? Because I should know what to do. I should be able to figure this out. However, at that time, my body was taking control because I was not protecting myself. I was not controlling myself, my body. I was showing my body, you should not trust me because I was under eating. I was overworking. I was not managing my day-to-day stress. I was working harder than ever. I was trying to prove myself. I was trying to outwork. I was under fueling. I was overworking. And over time, I learned functional health. I learned the nervous system. I learned more deeply what I needed to know about the female body, especially once we reach midlife. And it's how to work with our body, but specifically today, we're going to really learn about the nervous system, how to work with your nervous system, because your nervous system is the end all be all for all communication, all senses of safety and protection within your body. And in midlife, this is more important than ever. And once I learned this, I was able to heal my digestion, not just by taking supplements, not just by doing XYZ and standing on my head and drinking lemon water and eating only fish, right? By actually telling my body to stop breaking down, by showing my body safety. After that, my hormones were able to balance. My nervous system was more regulated. I felt more at ease in my body, and I just felt at home in my skin again. And this is what I do with my clients every single day. And I'm going to show you how we do this as well. So, your nervous system's job is not weight loss. Your nervous system's job is not digestion. It is not sleep. The nervous system's job is survival. And when your nervous system perceives stress, whether it's environmental, physical, emotional, mental, it moves your body into protection. So I want to talk about stress for a little bit because we hear about stress all the time, right? Do better with your stress. Alleviate some stress. Stress is normal. Stress makes the body stronger, right? It's a very confusing message about stress. What I want to say about stress is that many times we go all the way to extreme and we're like, well, that would be like, I can't manage my day to day. Maybe I have a lot of anxiety. I'm always in overwhelm. It feels like this very desperate state when we decide to say, okay, maybe I am stressed. And maybe that is you. Maybe you are aware of that. Or we're probably the person that the stress has become constant. The stress has actually become a baseline, and the stress is actually very quiet. Because when I ask women if they're stressed, even when they come to me with symptoms of bloating, hormonal problems, hair loss, can't sleep, weight gain, they say, well, my stress is fine, or I'm a little bit tired, but I'm generally okay. Or I'm not doing anything more than anybody else. What this is unawareness of your body. We cannot normalize stress anymore. We have to see how our nervous system, AKA stress, right? Nervous system is always responding to stress. Stress is impacting the nervous system. They're talking back and forth. They're kind of like one end of the same circle. Is that they are always talking to each other and impacting your body's perception of safety. Because stress in the body, especially in midlife, when we are numb to it, we're constantly on, we're always doing the things, we have normalized it. We some of stress can actually look like always needing to be on, right? So you just saw me having to silence my phone, right? Because right, that has become a very normal thing in our day to day. We have tech around us at all time, notifications coming in all hours of the day. We have social media on all the time. We have billboards, even when we drive on the street, that are always changing and constantly giving us more information to consume. There is information everywhere. There is overload of stuff that our brain is constantly having to take in. And that in of itself feels like stress for your body. So the always needing to be on. Difficulty relaxing even when you have time. How many times do you have a weekend where you're like, I don't have anything? Maybe that probably doesn't happen for you, but let's say you have a couple of hours on a weekend where you're like, okay, I'm going to relax. And then you go and you sit down and you try to relax. You even maybe turn on a show to try to distract yourself. You sit down with a book. You maybe sit down to scroll on your phone, whatever way you are going to find to like relax on that day and time. But then all of a sudden you're up. And you're like, well, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to just go over here, and I'm going to, and we're never actually just allowing ourselves to relax, never actually allowing ourselves to feel into rest. We feel guilty for rest. We feel like rest might be a waste of time, or we think rest can only happen when XYZ is done, but you never actually allow XYZ to be done. So there's never actually any time for restoration. Feeling wired but tired. So this feels like your brain is wired, but your body is tired, or vice versa. Your brain is super tired and you have a lot of fog, but like you just feel like you can't like sit down and chill out and relax. It's that discrepancy. You're on, but you're not. Trouble sleeping. So you might fall asleep, but you can't stay asleep. You wake up between 2 and 4 a.m. You toss and turn for the rest of the night, no matter what you do. Or sleeping overall is just difficult for you. Falling asleep is hard, and then you toss and turn most of the night. Digestive issues that don't have a consistent pattern, right? So you try to do your best, you try to do all the things that you think would improve digestion, decrease bloating. You've maybe cut out gluten, you maybe cut out foods that you think are food sensitivities, but nothing seems to be a constant. You still get bloating by 4 p.m. You feel like you're 4 months pregnant. It feels very hard and uncomfortable. You have to unbutton your pants and you're like, I've hardly ate anything. Why am I so bloated? The body holding tension, right? That's one of the most common ways that women tell me that they feel stress is that I can feel my body bracing. I can feel my body be very tight, but I don't really know why. I just walk around like this. This is just my general state of being is very tight and very braced. Constant buzzing or the underlying worry, right? So are any of these like hitting home there? You're like, oh yeah, I do kind of normalize that feeling. I do normalize the constant on, not being able to rest, anything like that. Let me know in the comments if that feels like that resonates and that sounds like that's in alignment with you. And what this is your like your baseline of perception of normal stress. But what it's doing on the inside is that your nervous system is like, okay, things aren't good, right? I can perceive things aren't good. And so that's what your body feels. Your symptoms look like weight gain, that just the scale just keeps creeping up no matter what you do. Even if you try to lose weight, it doesn't happen. The opposite might happen. You gain weight. Your sleep becomes disrupted. Your digestion gets very slow and very sluggish, which is why we're really bloated and constipated. We have inflammation and puffiness. So inflammation, like verbally, is harder to describe, but my guess is that you have understood what it feels like is that it's just this general puffy. It's like you look in the mirror and you're like, it's just puffy. It just doesn't look like me. Your rings might get tight. The scale might go up a couple pounds. You just feel like very watery and, like I wish I had a better word to describe inflammation and what it really feels. I have not found the exact word, but when I do, I will anchor that in. But it's just the general uck feeling, and feeling disconnected from your body. This is not failure. This isn't because you've done anything wrong. This is because your body is trying to protect you. Symptoms are getting your body's way of getting your attention so that you will listen. A stressed nervous system resists change. This is why trying harder doesn't work anymore. This is why doing more workouts, this is why tightening up your food and eating even less than you maybe do already in the day doesn't work. And you end up feeling confused, frustrated, and wondering, what's the point of caring if nothing ever gets better? What's the point of keeping on trying if nothing ever gets better? Because then we try to eat even cleaner, right? Maybe I'll cut out all dairy and gluten. Maybe I'll go paleo, or maybe I'll do this over here. So I have a lot of structure and a lot of rules to make me feel like something's going to happen and something's going to change. I'll do more workouts. I'm going to try to be more consistent. I'm going to just be stricter overall. But to your nervous system that is already dysregulated and not feeling safe, this equals more pressure and equals more threat. So instead of responding to what you're doing, your body braces even more. It tightens up even more. It conserves your energy. It slows the digestion. It disrupts your sleep. It holds onto your weight. Not because you're wrong, but because your nervous system doesn't feel safe enough to change. It doesn't feel safe enough to go in and burn body fat for fuel when the energy discrepancy is there, right? There's too much energy going out. There's not enough energy coming in. That means energy going out also is the stress in your day to day, everything you're trying to manage, everything you have on your shoulders. It's not just the workouts, it's the amount of workload you have on your physical body throughout the day. And let's be honest, you're probably already under eating. You're probably already just getting by with the amount of calories you're eating. If you're tracking macros, the food quality or the quantity, right? We're just getting by. And the energy discrepancy is showing your body there's not resources here. There's not enough resources for you to feel safe. So, what you think of as a lack of consistency, because that's what you've always been told by diet culture, just be consistent. Just make sure that it's a daily thing that you do every day. Don't miss a day, do it all the time, right? So, we go in and we tighten up. We're like, just be more consistent. But this actually sends the message that you're still unsafe, which brings more symptoms because we've just ignored the symptoms our body has been giving us. And now your body's like, well, she's not listening, so I'm going to have to turn it up. I'm going to turn up the volume. I'm going to give her more symptoms. And this brings on more dysregulation, and you repeat that cycle over and over and over again. When your nervous system feels safe, your body does respond, right? Your body is not like out to get you. Your body isn't wanting to make you feel miserable. Your body actually wants you to feel great. It wants you to feel energized. It wants you to be able to do everything that you're here to do in this world, but it needs you to pay attention first. So, what is safety? What is nervous system regulation? And I want to be clear that because we are given so much information, sometimes it's hard to know, how do I actually regulate my nervous system? Because many times on social media or other places wherever we're consuming information from, it's like, take a bath, meditate, journal, take a day off, go on vacation. But nervous system regulation isn't a bath. It's not just journaling. It's not just meditation. It's not taking some days off. It's something, and it's not something that you earn after pushing and pushing and pushing. Safety is what your body learns through repetition, and it's built through your nervous system experiences. So it's built through regular nourishment, which means enough food, not always trying to eat less, not trying to cut the corners, not trying to cut up this food group because we're just not sure that our body should have carbohydrates or whatever it is at this day and time. Not just always clean food and having rules and structure and regulation all the time. It's the constant rhythm or it's the consistent rhythm that your body knows. Like, I get fed when I'm hungry and when I need fuel. I get rest when I send messages that I'm tired and I need rest. And I'm not always needing to constantly catch up. My full-time job of my nervous system isn't to tighten up all the time and send symptoms over and over and over to get her attention. My nervous system can relax, it can let go. My shoulders can soften. I can allow, I can relax, I can be at ease in this body instead of reacting all day long and waiting for problems and trying to prevent problems all the time. We can like sit back in our bodies and allow our bodies to actually feel really good. Over time, your body will start to trust you that it knows what's coming next when it sends you a signal for hunger, for food, for rest, for movement, for sunshine, for joy, for ease, right? Your body is always talking to you through those ways. But because of the way our world works and because of the conditioning of diet culture and the diet industry and also just society and messages to women to work harder and to keep up, our body doesn't always trust us that it knows what's next. And that's what trust builds, right? Is understanding the language of the body through our symptoms, not just our symptoms, but also just the general language of our body so that we can understand what does my body need from me, give it to my body. Now my body begins to trust me that I follow through on the language of the body and I trust my body because I start to feel like myself. And when we do this, we'll start to hear our hunger and our fullness because our body is no longer in scarcity. Many times we don't feel that we're hungry. We don't feel our appetite until it's really, really loud. And we have cravings and we can't like put the junk food down or the processed food just seems so easy to grab. And we release the rules and the structure and like the tight holding around food, right? We're able to be a normal eater without dieting, without being on all the time, and having like that natural state of eating. That would be nice, right? I don't have to eat with rules. I don't have to eat with a ton of structure. I can be a natural eater, which means I can hear what my body needs. I can give my body what it needs. And we've built that trust within each other. Also, what happens on the other side of this is that body stops bracing. Our digestion starts to improve because energy can be spent on digesting and moving our food through instead of conserving energy because our body doesn't feel safe from stress. And then what happens when we conserve energy is that digestion slows, food sits in our belly for too long, grows bacteria, and then starts to break down the gut lining. And that's where we end up with the bloating and the constipation and just feeling like our digestion is generally off. Our sleep becomes deeper because when you feel safe and you go into a deep sleep and you stay there, you recover at night. And when you recover, you wake up and you have energy and you want to do your workout. You have energy to do your workout. You have the capacity to put muscle on your body, right? All of that happens with sleep. And then your hormones start to regulate because your body feels safe enough to make hormones and then to clear them. Because we want to have both of those happening for hormonal balance. We have to make hormones, so our body needs resources to make hormones. They don't just make them out of thin air, it needs food. And then we also detox them, which prevents us from having estrogen dominance or having testosterone be imbalanced or things like that, that oftentimes end up being the reason for hormonal imbalances. Oops, was that the right slide? Hold on. Okay, hold on 1 minute because I think somebody is not muted. There we go. Okay. All right. So, this part matters. Regulation. I also want to be very clear that nervous system regulation is not checking out. It's not living a soft life. I think that that has been misconstrued on social media and messaging online is that like when you're doing nervous system regulation, that you are doing less. You might be doing less of the things that don't produce results for you, but you are regulating so you can follow through. The reason we aren't consistent and that we don't develop the consistency that we want to have for the habits we want to have that we know make us feel really good in our body is because our nervous system is protecting us. And when our nervous system protects us, it protects us from action. It protects us from doing things consistently because we just don't have the capacity to do more, even though it benefits us. So that looks like the fight or flight state, right? So fight or flight looks like doing a lot. It looks like go, 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 being more in a panic mode, being more like chaotic with our actions. And then we go into, and those actions don't always make sense, right? Like it seems like they would work, but they're not working because we're working against our body. And then there's also this freeze state where we know what we should do, but we just can't get ourselves to do it. It feels like dragging through mud. Or it feels like everything else is more important, right? I know I should go for a walk, but this needs to be done. The dishes need to be done. That has to be put away. I have to do this work project, this blah, 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 right? And so doing the thing that would actually create more energy for us, because typically going for a walk does create consistent, reliable energy. We spend the very little energy we have doing things that don't give back to our body. And so we end up taking more than we ever give ourselves. But nervous system regulation is not disengaging from your life. It is staying with your body. It's noticing in real time when you're running on fumes, when you're pushing past hunger, when your energy is dropping, when your body is bracing. Instead of overriding those signals, you respond with the right input. That might be eating a little bit sooner than what you normally do, choosing recovery instead of intensity, depending on how your body feels and what it needs from you that day. Adding structure instead of more willpower, right? Giving yourself an actual tangible thing that you can do that makes sense, that you have thought about from your mind instead of just saying, I'm going to work, be the hardest work, I'm going to do the most, I'm going to push through. Asking for support, and then creating boundaries to protect yourself. And then over time, your body starts to learn, oh, I'm not on my own. She will feed me. I don't have to stay on guard. And once that message starts to land with your body stops protecting and starts responding again in the way that you want it to respond. That means digestion improves, sleep improves, the body fat starts to adjust. You can add more muscle on, you have consistent energy, and you just generally feel at home in your body. So let me tell you about one of my clients, Jessica. She was active, she was consistent, she was very disciplined in the normal discipline way of thinking when it comes to health practices when she came to me, but she was exhausted. She had lots of blood sugar swings, so she had lots of cravings. Her appetite and hunger were very skewed. She had chronic headaches. She was very stuck in her body composition, so she had more body fat specifically, and she wanted to build more muscle. She had a lot of stress from balancing work. She was a single mom. She also worked outside of the home. And her body, even though she was doing everything really well on paper, her body was not responding because it was stuck in that survival mode and that nervous system dysregulation. So, what we did when we started working together is we did some lab tests. We found out she had some GI digestive issues. So, even the foods that she was eating, she wasn't actually breaking down and using that nutrition, which leaves the body feeling very deprived of energy. We healed digestion through understanding what was the actual problem here with her gut. From there, we slowly increased her food amount so that we were signaling to her body that it was resourced, that it had enough energy, that it could create energy and it could be consistent. We adjusted her workouts to work specifically on strength training versus doing any sort of workout, right? So many times we like sign up for a workout program or we just do a workout and because we worked out, we call it done and completed. But we want to be very strategic on how we're using our energy for workouts once we're in midlife because our primary focus should be putting muscle on the body. That is how the body creates energy going forward. Think about it like a 401k. You put money in your 401k, it just grows more money and you don't have to do anything. Same thing with your body. When you put muscle on your body's metabolic rate goes up by you not having to do anything extra for the rest of the day, which means your blood sugar is going to be more stable, your hormones are going to be more balanced, you're going to have more energy, you're going to feel better in your body. We also added adrenal support. So, adrenal glands are your stress glands. They produce your stress hormones. Many times they're taxed when you come to me. So, we add some adrenal support in there to calm down those consistent stress signals that she was getting. And what happened over time, improving digestion, balancing hormones, improving nutrition consistently, not cutting foods out, not taking foods away, but being consistent with high quality foods and enough foods. And then also added muscle in, she was able to lose 16 pounds of body fat. She maintained all the muscle she had, which in the mind's eye helps us see that our body composition has changed. Her energy was stabilized, her crushes went away midday, fewer cravings, less headaches, and she finally just felt good and at home in her body again. And my other client, Molly, also was doing all of the right things. She worked out every day. She increased her protein. She was using like meal replacement shakes. She was trying to just Mod Podge all the things together and do them all. And yet she was gaining weight consistently. She felt very bloated every day. And every afternoon she crashed. What she didn't know was that her gut and her hormones and her stress levels were just driving all of this. And also think about her behaviors, right? I'm trying to Mod Podge all of this together to make myself feel better, which was probably just adding more fuel to the nervous system dysregulation and dis-ease that her body generally felt. So, what we did with her, we also did some digestive support. We healed her gut. We lowered inflammation significantly, which the natural side effect was that was her balancing hormones, right? Many times we think I need to balance my hormones. I have to specifically go out and like micromanage those hormones. Many times you don't. They are just the responders to our environment. So if we change the environment the body is in, so the nervous system feels safe, so it has resources, so it has food, and so that our digestion is better as well, right? That goes in with feeling resourced and having enough food available. Your hormones respond to that. And you don't have to go in and you don't have to manipulate them because they are responders to your environment. And then we also shifted her workouts because she was working really hard in her workouts, was not recovering. So we added a little bit more of a recovery piece to this so that she had more time in between her workouts to build the muscle she was trying to build. So for her, she lost 12 pounds. Her bloating went away. She had steady energy throughout the day. She felt calmer and less reactive. And this was a big one for her. And she still talks to me about this to this day because she was the mom that would go into the sports activities and like lose her mind and get really riled up and felt rather out of control in the gym and already like a very chaotic environment. And she would feel very like stretched thin and unlike herself and very disheveled at her children's school all the time. And once she learned to fuel herself well, regulate her nervous system, she now goes to her children's games and is calm. She yells when she needs to from a place of joy and love and not from feeling out of control. I just wanted to share that because she still shares that to this day on how different she is at those games. So feeling at home in your body with more energy and more focus without dieting or working harder. And that's exactly why I've created my program called Resourced. The transformation is super simple and very easy to understand. My goal with you is to always help you feel at home in your body. More energy, more focus without dieting and without working harder against your body. It's very simple. It's very effective because the truth is we don't need any more of stuff in our lives. We already have so much stuff. We already have so much information coming at us. We already know a lot. We need embodiment in our lives. We need to actually put this into a living experience so our nervous system can feel safe because our nervous system does not feel safe with more information. It does not feel safe with more consumption from the mind. The nervous system wants you to embody you being the healthiest version of you by helping your body feel safe so the nervous system can calm down, so that it can create hormones, so it can digest your food, so that you can have energy, and so you can feel at ease in your body. When you do that, the symptoms go away. The symptoms lower. Your body does not have to scream at you anymore because you're listening. So resourced is a high touch container. You all, I think, are very familiar with me and my work. You probably know me as having the program Mindfully Well. So Mindfully Well is evolving into the next thing, which it's not here. And so now what I have created is a high touch container for speedy results, for less confusion, and it's a high touch private coaching container, which normally I have not done private coaching in years. And so this is a very short, quick opportunity to be able to work privately with me, which is very exciting because it's something that has been asked for quite a while. So, what is the resource coaching program with me? So, you get private coaching. So, that means you get my one on one attention. We're going to meet bi weekly, and it'll be privately, entirely focused on you, your data, your energy, the season you're in, what your body actually needs to feel safe. Every call ends with clear direction. So, you're never knowing what do I actually need to do from this? How do I execute this consistently without working harder against my body and my already busy life? You also get access to me through my private messaging system. So anytime you have questions or concerns, you can send me a message. You're not having to post in a community. You're not having to go into a Facebook group and figure it out. You're not having to go into forums to search for the answer. You just get to send me a message and then I get to reply to you. And it just eases your time and your energy level as well. And then you also get lab work interpretation. So if lab work is needed, I have a couple of functional health tests that I typically rely on for clients who are having digestive issues, who are having a lot of stress, hormone issues, sleep issues as well, that we can bring in that help expedite you feeling better in your body. Because when we know specifically with data and information what is actually the culprit here, guess what? We can fix that really quickly and we can move on. And that also eases that stress on the body as well. Um, And you also, we will work one on one together with your nervous system so you know how your nervous system works in real time, being able to apply the nervous system practices in your day to day life after that. So there are different tools that the body can use that will help your body just feel more calm and at ease in real time, right? So it's not just saying like, okay, Melissa said to do breath work. Melissa said to do meditation. Melissa said to journal. Melissa said to do this. It's my body responded really well to this quick nervous system tool that Melissa taught me this week. I'm going to use it for 5 minutes today. It's easy to implement, it's easy to do, and they work in real time. Instead of waiting and waiting and waiting, I teach you tools you can use in real time to regulate yourself so you're not dependent on someone else to feel calm and grounded. You have the ability, you have the access, you have the agency to be able to do that for yourself in real time. I also hold group breath work and somatic practices each month as well, which they're always recorded. You can watch them later or use them at any time. But these are beautiful to help you release stored tension, reset your system so you can just like feel that intense or the it's like intense ease. I don't know how to describe it, but so a great example was after a breathwork session, one of my clients said to me, I feel more relaxed than I even have even like at a massage when somebody's like literally rubbing my muscles for um 2 hours. I feel even more relaxed than that. And my analogy for that is like, yeah, because your cells have relaxed. That's how deep nervous system and somatics can go for you. It is a new layer of relaxation and of ease and of feeling safety in your body. Um, yes, deep ease, Becca. And then you also get access to the Mindfully Well curriculum. So this is all the curriculum that I have taught in the past that you can have access to, that you can listen to at any time to help you understand, deepen any knowledge that you maybe have knowledge gaps on that you want to learn more about. It is optional, but it is there for you to use. And my courses, my modules are very short. I keep them 10, 15, 20 minutes max when I am teaching you something, because the truth is, like many times, it's not the consumption of more knowledge, it's the embodiment, it's the living experience that actually makes the change. So, pricing for this coaching container also is at the same pricing than what my group pricing was. So, not only do you get this fantastic opportunity to work privately with me for 4 months, you're also getting it at the same price as what my group pricing was. So, regular pricing for this when we're not in January. $499 a month for 4 months, which is 1,800. But during January, I'm doing an open enrollment for private coaching. So you get to save $300 in the month of January. You can use this $300 and you can apply it towards a functional lab test if this is appropriate for you, which I will give you the opportunity to schedule a breakthrough session with me, which is a free session where I look exactly at your health history, everything, and I will help give you an idea if I think lab tests will be beneficial for you. And if not, then we don't have to order them, right? We don't just spend money on things because we can just spend money on things when they're not actually going to benefit us. And if you don't need labs, you just get that $300 discounted off of your pricing. So then it would be $425 a month for 4 months if you take the cash discount, or $1,500 pay in full. So it's a fantastic opportunity that if you need labs, we can throw them in, or you get that as a discount in the month of January as well. So our next step is to schedule a breakthrough session. And the breakthrough session, I'm going to put this link in here, is a free 40-minute session where we're going to talk about exactly where you currently are in your energy, in your hormones, in your digestion, in weight gain, whatever the presenting symptoms are for you. I'm going to be able to see what is actually probably the culprit here, be able to lay out exactly what I think is the issue, kind of like the bottleneck issue. How we will solve that, and then what it will look like to actually work together for the next 4 months together. So you'll know exactly what the problem is. You don't have to be confused anymore. You don't have to guess anymore. You don't have to wonder. You'll know exactly what the problem is, what needs to be fixed, and how we do that. So you'll feel very clear, very understanding, very like, I get it now. Okay, I can see it. And then from there, you can decide, does this feel like the right container for me? Also, since I work with a HIPAA safe platform, and I'm a functional health provider, I can take HSA and a Flex account to pay for it, which is always super helpful. Um, yeah, that is the gist of the program. So if you have questions, put them in the chat. Also for like open spots, I have 8 spots open to fill for January. And then at that point, I will be closing one-on-one coaching in February. And I will be creating my new program coming up in the future. But this is such a unique opportunity to be able to like give you all the attention, all the focus, everything that you need and want at this point in your life, especially to start out with a new year and to be able to go fully in on yourself, feel better. There's really no better time. There's no better time in your life to feel better and to feel at home in your skin. Because honestly, the world needs you. The world needs you to feel great. The world needs you to be ready. The world needs you to be focused and to have energy. When a smart, capable woman is fatigued and tired and run down, she is not here to help us, right? Our country, our world needs you. And we can't do it being tired. We have got to create this energy. We have got to get the fuel under our butts. We have got to light this on fire because the world needs us. The world needs us to be present, to be focused, to take care of our babies, to take care of our world. And we can't do that until our cups are full, until we have given back to ourselves. Because you, me, we are the most important people. You are the focus. You are the thing that needs the most love and affection and time and energy right now. You are. I know it seems like everything else is important. I know it seems like everything else needs you and you don't need it, but that's not the truth. And now this is the year, this is the time that we take ourselves back. And when we give to ourselves from a place of love, of affection, like unconditional love, like that's it, like unconditional love for ourselves, everybody wins. Our children win, our communities win, our significant others win, our country wins, our world wins. Like nothing Nothing is lost when you're taking care of yourself, when you feel good in your body, when you are confident in your body, when you are here to anchor down and be like the love and the affection and the compassion that everybody needs. So, um, it's 12:57. I got a couple minutes. If you have questions, you can put them in the chat. Otherwise, the link is there. If you want to schedule a session with me, you can go ahead and do that. I won't be sending out an email to schedule a session until after Thursday's call. So I'm doing another call on Thursday evening. And then after that, I'll open up resource to the public. But just to ease any confusion for people who haven't listened to the class today, I just wait to send that out. But since you are here, you can schedule it by clicking that link, save your time, and we will chat on everything that you need, what your body needs, how to feel better and at home in your skin. All right, my friends, if you ever have any questions, just reply back to my email. I'm always on the other side. Otherwise, I hope to see you all very soon. Bye bye.